Three, two, one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the series premiere and debut edition of Take Me Down to Studio City. I am Vinnie. This is Angela. You know us from Suds News. Angela's also on Days for Dummies as well as Petty Prattle. I am on Suds News and Dockside at the Bay, along with other stuff. But we are here today for a brand new show, Studio City. Angela, you're friends with Sean Kanan, and he gave us the green light.
He did. He's very excited about us doing this. He's looking forward to seeing it and even possibly, taking part in some upcoming episodes. And we're very excited about that. This is very much a passion project for him
Okay.
and a family affair. It doesn't just star in it. He, created it, and him and his wife, along with others, also produce and write it. He stars in it. His stepdaughter is one of the major characters. His wife has also done bit parts on it, and it's just an absolute labor of love. And I love it, and I love that he did this for soap fans.
And it's great that it's a web series. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
as you could find it on the Roku channel, Tubi TV. I believe those are the only two places right now. I think maybe Apple TV as well.
Right, for free. You can also purchase it on Amazon Prime, which is
Right.
where it started. And they're hoping to do a third season of it. They're just waiting to see the reception of it. Now that it's free, it started out free on Amazon Prime, and then Amazon stopped letting things be free unless they made them.
Yep.
So they had to start charging for it, which hurt their viewership. And then, so they got it on recently on Roku and Tubi for free.
Yep.
I cannot stress enough how much I highly suggest people check this out. It's so good.
It really is. And one of the reasons why we decided to bring a show like this on is because my other show, Dockside at the Bay, focuses on yet another web series,
Mhm.
which is The Bay. And I feel, at least, the web series are the way of the future. Granted,
Absolutely.
our shows on network TV are, in the 50s, 60 years old. Days
Mhm.
has moved specifically to Peacock, although they're even with Days, their formula has not changed much from
Right.
NBC to Peacock.
Right.
But being that Studio City and the Bay are both originally for the web,
Mhm.
it just has a different feel to it. It's shot
It does.
differently. It you're able to have a lot less restriction.
Yes.
So that's one of the things what I wanted to do. There are a ton of shows out there regarding, all of our major soaps. JLJ does three of them alone, as well as, 10th Floor podcasts, and we're
Mhm.
all friends. We're all together. But you know what? I've always had that passion to focus on the underdogs, and
Yes.
that's what these shows are.
Absolutely. And they're just, I mean, chock full of talent.
Yes, there are.
And I mean, there are only two seasons right now, but in those two seasons,
Yes.
17 episodes, they got 16 daytime Emmy nominations.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was only for their first season. Their second season, they weren't eligible because the daytime Emmys changed the requirements.
So
They
let's
would have
get
had
into
to
that.
go. They would have had to go into the prime time, but they didn't have the budget to compete against things like Cobra Kai and things like that.
So when it comes to the web series, because the same thing with the Bay, how does the powers that be determine what's considered daytime if it's streaming, if it's not on a
It's
daytime?
well, if I've never watched the base, so I don't know their formula, but from what I understand, the big requirement is they have to be either half hour or hour format,
Okay.
which Studio City is not. I don't know if the Bay is.
The Bay is basically a half hour. If you add in commercials, it comes to a half hour. So it's like
Yeah.
usually a 20 to 22-minute runtime.
Okay. But I don't know why the Bay wouldn't be eligible for the daytime.
Well, the Bay is eligible.
Oh, okay. The Bay is. All right. Yeah.
What,
Studio
what,
City isn't because of its runtime.
yeah. Okay. So that's the basic thing is the runtime. The fact
Yes.
that okay, because I'm just wondering when it comes to streaming, because it's the same
Right.
thing with Days now on Peacock. You could watch it at any time. What
Right.
considers still a daytime show?
Right. Yeah. It's really just the runtime because I mean, Days was eligible, and so was their spinoff,
Yep. Beyond.
Beyond Salem.
Yep.
So yeah, it's really just the runtime.
Hmm.
That's the issue.
All right. Well, that's something that we'll have to talk to the Academy about and figure out,
Hmm.
what their exact rules are, and maybe we'll do an
Yes.
entire show about that.
Hmm.
Before we actually get into episode one, season one, episode one of Studio City, I do want to go over our plugs at the very beginning. As always, here at Suds Media, we are uh, an official affiliate of WWE Shop, which is a Fanatics experience. Go ahead and go to suds-media.com/wrestling merch. That has our affiliate code in there. And you can buy anything, whether it's something for Hulk Hogan, something for the NWO, or something for any WWE superstar, legend, Hall of Famer, or NXT star, whatever. And we do get a commission off of it, and it does help the show. You can also go to buymeacoffee.com/Suds and Squared Circle or patreon.com/Suds and Squared Circle and help us out. You can give us a donation. You can subscribe. We're going to be doing more with Patreon going forward, which is another new show that we're starting this week as well. So just stay tuned. Um, and follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/@suds-media. What you're watching now, subscribe, get notified, and definitely like the video because we are here trying to help out and trying to help bring you guys more entertainment, more content. All right. So with that said, let's get into it. Um, you did say that it was a passion project for Sean Kanan. What and something we're going to talk to when if Sean graces us with our presence with his presence, we'll be able to kind of talk to him what his mindset was in writing it. But for right
Hmm.
now, let's get a little bit of backstory of Studio City and kind of what led to the creation of it. What led to
Well, he wanted to delve into, he wanted to write what he knew. He wanted to create something, and he created this with a friend of his that he had been friends with for a long time, a gentleman by the name of Jason Antognoli. And it's the premise of it is it's the on and off camera
yep.
lives of the actors on America's #2 daytime soap opera, Hearts on Fire. It cracks me up that they chose it to be the #2, but yes, Hearts on Fire. And he is an aging soap star. It centers around him,
Mhm.
obviously.
Yes.
And it's just interesting tidbit. Tristan Rogers won his absolute first daytime Emmy on this show.
Really?
He had never won another one.
Wow. That's a shock.
Isn't it? Yes. And they have assembled an incredible cast. So in the pilot,
Hmm.
we meet Sam.
Yes.
It opens with them shooting a scene.
Hmm.
Um, and he's surprised by something that happens in the scene.
Yes.
The new hot young, hunk on the show interrupts his, romantic moment with his leading lady.
Yes.
And cut is called, and his agent is there, and his agent's encouraging him to go talk to the executive producer, who
Yep.
is played by the wonderful Carolyn Hennessy. Did
Oh,
General
phenomenal.
Hospital fans know her as Diane Miller?
Yep.
She plays the executive producer. She's fabulous in
Yeah,
this.
she is.
Um, she's a lot of fun to talk to as well. I'm going to try to reach out to her, bring her on for us because she's great.
Yeah.
And she's basically playing hardball with Sam.
Yeah.
Now, one thing you guys will notice when you turn on Studio City for the first time, and it'll probably surprise you, is the runtime of the shows.
Yeah. Very quick.
Episode 1 is 13 minutes long.
Yeah.
But the thing about that is that there's no filler.
Right. It gets right to the point. It's all plot.
Exactly. And soaps have a lot of filler because there's a lot of content, but
Okay.
they are no filler. It's all so in 13 minutes, we meet these, 3 characters on the show,
Yeah.
one of their agents, the executive producer, the mother of Sam, played by Patricia Darbo,
Yeah.
who's amazing,
Oh yeah.
and Juliet Vega, Sean Kanan's stepdaughter, who
Hmm.
plays Delia, and we'll get to her later, in 13 minutes.
Yeah.
And they lay this amazing groundwork.
Yeah.
We, get to see the, ins and outs of the shooting the show, and then him talking to his executive producer, who it's contract time for Sam.
Yes.
And they're playing hardball. She wants him to do an appearance. He doesn't want to do them. And she basically tells it, she brought on this new hot hunk
As his replacement, basically.
as his replacement or his rival, depending on whether or not he plays ball.
Yeah.
And she's a total hard ass,
Oh yeah.
but you just love her. She's so funny. And she's talking to her mother a couple
Yes.
times in it.
Oh yeah. It's fantastic because when you see her, she's talking about the problems that she's having in the studio with actors. Yeah, yeah. You're thinking that she's talking to like a Barry Bloom, like an agent or something, just kind of, you know, just trying
Yep.
to, get somebody on, and then all of a sudden she's like, "All right, mother, I'll call you back."
Yeah, I've got to go because Sam
Yeah.
walks in and it's her mom.
Yeah.
Right. And then when he leaves, she gets this real frustrated look on her face and calls her mother back.
Right.
So funny. It cracks me up
Oh,
every time I see it.
but it's funny because we're looking at the behind the scenes of the making of the show, as well as
Mhm.
following Sam, the lead character, and basically what he deals with on a day-to-day basis in his
Yes.
career, and the way that he says, "Oh, I'm not doing those signings," and it's like it's almost like you have to kind of separate. Obviously, you have to suspend your disbelief because when you think about it, actors, especially when they're aging, when they know that they're, coming to the end of their,
Mhm.
career, their longevity in the business, you would think they would want to do these fan events where they're keeping their
Yeah.
name out there. And
Mhm.
so it's just showing me that he's in denial that he's, on his way out.
Well, I mean, and they bring that up too because Gloria says to him, you still have delusions that you're going to be an action star,
Yeah.
and he's like, yeah, and she's like, you're too old.
Yeah.
She's like, not even pulling any punches.
Right.
And we also see him talking to his agent about getting commercials,
Yeah.
getting other work to bring in more money,
Yep.
because Sam also has a very young girlfriend
Yes.
who wants to spend a lot of money.
Yes. And
We also meet. Yes,
she's a gold digger,
absolutely.
yeah. Just the scene that, we get to where he's eating breakfast, he made her smoothie, her protein drink,
Hmm.
and she comes with the pouty face saying, "I found this amazing dress that I looked great in, but your card declined."
Yeah. Yes. But, he gives her another card because he
Yeah.
wants to,
Oh yeah.
keep her warming his bed. So,
Yes.
yes. And yeah, she's off to an audition, but she doesn't want to jinx it
Right.
by telling him what it is, which I thought was hysterical, especially when we later find out what it is. But that's a different episode.
Yes.
So then we see Sam at the autograph signing.
Yes. At the fan
Right.
event. Yeah.
Yes. And he's there with Christine, who plays Anastasia and his love interest, and Nick, who
Yeah.
plays Devin Stryker. It's such a soap opera name.
Oh yeah.
Also there.
Yep.
And Max is there as well, who we'll see more later.
Yes.
And Sam's agent. And then his mother shows up.
Yes.
And oh, she humiliates him in front of his. It was so
For
fun.
the
And she just
workers,
does
for
not
the,
even
yeah.
care. Yeah, not at all. And then they get her out of there,
Yes.
and a girl walks up,
Yep.
teenage girl.
Which you would think would not be necessarily in the demographic of the show.
Mhm.
So he's, kind of dumbfounded that this young girl comes up and stands kind of in front of him, just kind of staring. She says, he offers an autograph. She says, no, I'm good. He offers a selfie. And,
And she's like, "Yeah, if you want to."
yeah,
And then, Nick makes the joke about how, Sam likes them young, but even she's too young.
yes, yep,
And then she leans down and tells Sam,
I'm your daughter.
"I'm your daughter."
Yep,
Credits. And this poor guy, as though there's not enough pile on already, now he has potentially.
yes. A teenage daughter
Yes.
that he never knew about.
Mm-hmm. So Juliet Vega plays Delia,
Yep,
who is possibly Sam's daughter. And she's Sean Kanan's stepdaughter, his wife,
okay,
Michelle Kanan's daughter from her previous marriage. And he made her audition. She wanted to get into acting. He made her audition with the full group of them that were making the decision, and she won the role. And she's good. You guys will see more
yeah.
with her as the series goes on, and she is really, really good.
That's great.
The whole cast.
And it's like going off on a tangent almost. We're seeing more and more the children of, especially the soap stars. And we'll stick with the soap genre right now, but we
Mm-hmm,
saw it with GH with Joshua Bernard coming in as,
mm-hmm.
a character on GH. You know, and his music.
Nick Morrow's son on Young and the Restless is on Bold and the Beautiful now, his son Crew.
Okay. Yep.
Nancy Lee Grant's daughter has guest starred on GH.
Yep.
Laura,
Or
Jeannie
Jeannie
Francis's
Francis.
daughter.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Kirsten Storm's daughter, her and Brandon
Yeah.
Rosh's daughter played baby Georgie.
Yeah. Yep. And
Yeah,
even Bradford Anderson's kids were in the scene, in the background, but at least the
recently.
fact it's weird because when we look at, and obviously coming from a wrestling background, we hear all the time second generation, third generation stars,
Mm-hmm.
I think Randy Orton or Natalia Neidhart or Davey Boy Smith Jr. and all these people that are coming of age now and really getting into their own at this point. But now we're starting to see second generation soap stars and
Yes.
getting into it. And of course, they're going to use the soap as a platform to take off to other things and stuff. But just
Mm-hmm.
the fact that they're able to now come in, and I like the fact that
Yes.
Sean made his stepdaughter audition.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Yeah.
wasn't something of nepotism. It wasn't some just
Right.
here, take it, it's yours.
Yeah. Absolutely. And she's a good little actress. She
Yep.
really is. I'm looking forward to seeing more from her.
Yep. Um, and then we get after, the autograph signing, we get to a bar setting. We see Tristan
Mm-hmm.
Rogers, who the most disheveled that I've ever seen him in anything that I've ever seen him act in.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him in GH, I've seen him in the Bay, I've seen him in
Isn't that the next episode, though?
no, that's still episode one.
Is it?
I thought
Oh,
so.
okay. I thought it
Yeah.
was. No, I thought it was the next one, but okay.
Yeah, I thought so because I don't think, I mean, unless I missed the credits, but I didn't think I did.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, Tristan is a totally different character. Doc is totally different from Robert Scorpio.
Yeah. Um, because he's at the bar and Sam's sister runs the bar and, he's talking about,
Sarah Brown,
yeah.
Sarah Joy Brown,
Yep.
original Carly. Hmm.
Yes. Yep. And they're just talking and, she's trying to go better herself and go to school and, trying to pay for her classes. But then all of a sudden she brings a plate of food over to, this girl, Sam's daughter, who's sitting there and says, I'm waiting for my dad or I'm waiting for my father.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
Sean comes in or Sam comes in.
Sam comes in. Yes. Yeah, I told Sam or told Sean, sorry, not Sam. I told Sam, oh, shoot, yeah, I said it again. I told Sean that I think the one misstep he made with Studio City is making Sarah Brown his character's sister
Yeah.
because they had such amazing chemistry on General Hospital,
Oh, yeah.
romantically, sizzling chemistry. But they're also great as siblings. But I do love the chemistry between the two of them romantically,
Yes.
all of that. So yes, but oh, it's the whole show is just so good.
Yeah, it is.
I
It's
in love with it.
yeah, and the thing about the quick shows, and that's right after that because Sam and his daughter have a quick conversation. He's denying it. He's saying that
Mhm.
there's no way that I could be your dad. How old are you? 16? And then he's like, well, okay, I'm old enough. Um, I like the
Yes.
age play, because it just
Hmm.
shows how, as we get older, we don't like to admit that we're getting older, and we
Yes.
always want to feel younger than we are. Uh, you know,
Right.
then, she shows him a picture of him with her mother at a fan event in Orlando, um,
Hmm.
that many years ago, and he just kind of storms off. He's like, it's I don't know why you're doing this to me. I don't know why you picked me, but I'm not your father, and just
Yeah.
he just storms off.
Hmm.
And then that's where the credits hit. At least that's what I saw.
Yeah. I still think that was episode 2, but that's okay. It's
Oh,
all right. Yeah. But yes, we'll delve into that more again next time as well. But yeah, it's funny too because aging, so many people have a problem with aging, but for a lot of actors,
yeah.
even more so.
Oh, yeah.
Especially heartthrobs and things like that.
Yeah.
And he's just getting it hammered on him from all sides that he's old. And now he has this, daughter that's pretty much full grown, which that'll make you feel old on your best day. You know
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
that. Yeah.
We've all been there. Absolutely.
Yes. So 16 Emmy nominations,
That's
3 wins,
Yep.
which is just phenomenal for out of the gate. They also had 23 indie series nominations and 9 wins. They lightning in a bottle, this show.
Oh, yeah.
And I would love to see it expanded to a half hour format and there be more. I'm dying for more.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that Kim and I talk about on Dockside at the Bay is that it's the same thing. Because of the short episodes, it leaves you wanting more. And just the pacing of it is just so quick, bam, 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 that you're left you're literally getting a cliffhanger on every episode.
Every single one. It's phenomenal.
It is.
The writing, the acting, how they put it all together is just, and they do it on, I mean, daytime genres alone has a very shoestring budget, but
Yeah.
these
Oh,
even
yeah.
more so,
Oh, yeah.
even more so. They have a very limited crew and everybody's pitching in and doing a million things, which
That's
is,
fair.
very much a family, and it kind of makes it a passion project for all of
Yeah, agreed.
them. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's like go out of your way to check out Studio City. Like I said, Roku channel, Tubi TV, and you could buy it, Amazon, Apple TV.
Mhm.
Just search it, whatever streaming box you have. Even, I've looked it up. I don't think it comes up on the Xbox TV unless I go through Apple TV. But if you go through your Roku and you just search Studio City, it'll come up.
And you love it.
Yeah.
And we'd love to hear your comments. Let us know
Yes.
on Twitter, and we'll definitely share them.
Yeah.
But we'd love to hear your opinions on it. And we're going to do an episode by episode
We are. Yes.
pod for you. And we're going to sprinkle in interviews and exclusive content from the crew and hopefully or from the cast and hopefully some of the crew as well.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited about this podcast and the show as a whole. I love this show.
We absolutely. And one of these days we'll get James Jr. on as well. He was in an
He
episode
was
there.
in an episode of it. Yeah.
And they are looking to get season 3 up and running. So of course the pandemic kind of hurt a lot of,
yes.
And this was one of the shows that hurt. But it's working to come back, and that's what is the most important thing. Go support, watch it, and if you have anything, hit us up on Twix at Suds Media, as well as add a comment down below here, like the video, subscribe, get notified, but search out Studio City. These shows, Take Me Down to Studio City, will be dropping every Wednesday on both YouTube and podcast. The podcast I'm going to put it on the main Suds feed, as well as its own feed. So you'll have 2 places to find it. So for right now, until we get more of a following, I'll release it on both the main feed as well as Take Me Down to Studio City itself. As always, go to suds-media.com. It'll have its own page there as well. So either way, check it out. Angela and I will be back with another episode of Take Me Down to Studio City next week. But go over to suds-media.com for all of our content, as well as youtube.com/@suds-media, because we're going to be coming up with more content. There's going to be even more shows, as well as here's going to be the new lineup of Suds-Media going forward. We're going to have Suds News Mondays at 10 live on YouTube, Dockside at the Bay Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube. Wednesdays are going to be Take Me Down to Studio City, dropped. They're pre-recorded, but they're dropped on Wednesdays. Thursdays are going to be Angela Answers Fan Mail. We're going to be starting that up this week as well. That's going to be split between YouTube and Patreon. Half of the episode will be going on YouTube, but then if you want to get down to the nitty-gritty, you have to go to Patreon for that. And then on Fridays, starting next week, which will be Friday the 20th. No, I'm sorry, Friday the 27th. Chair Shot Sports and I are going to be coming up with Sports Entertainment Center, and that's going to be focused on wrestling every Friday. That's going to be recorded. So just a whole slew of content coming from Suds Media. All right, so we will be back next week with another episode of Taking Me Down to Studio City. Angela, where can everybody get in touch with you?
PettyPrattle.com. They can also, come hit me up on Twitter, Brooklyn74. I'm always around there. And we also have our Petty Prattle Patreon.
Yep.
That we're sharing all kinds of fun stuff on as well. And of course, Days for Dummies on Sunday and with you Monday nights.
Absolutely. And if you want to send in any fan mail or any of your opinions to our email for Angela Answers Fan Mail, you could email us angelaAnswersFanMail@gmail.com, and we will be bringing those up as well. So check out all the new stuff coming on Suds and Squared Circle Media going forward. All right. So again, for Angela, I'm Vinnie. We'll see you next week. Take Me Down to Studio City. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.